I went to a Zack Arias one-night workshop my very first year of business because I was so intimidated with my flash and I had no idea how to use it. So I'm like, I want to go to this flash guru. Well, the problem was he knew so much about flash and I knew nothing, and it was a little bit over my head. I think I went prematurely. I will say though, I walked away with the most powerful piece of business knowledge or whatever you can call it. And he told a story, and I'm probably going to kill it, so Zach, please forgive me. He told the class about this story of this photographer who really wanted to shoot the World Series. Now, this photographer was really good and he believed in his ability to shoot the World Series, but nobody would hire him for larger gigs. So he finally landed a gig in like Podunk, USA, and they have him shooting T-ball games. Well, he's so frustrated because he clearly knows of his ability to succeed, but he's shooting T-ball games. And he was shooting the T-ball games like he was shooting a T-ball game. It didn't hit him until one day when he realized, if I shoot this T-ball game like I'm shooting the World Series, I will eventually shoot the World Series. Lo and behold, a few years later, he shoots the World Series and garnishes tons of awards for his work. That story, which has nothing to do with Flash or the one-night workshop, revolutionized my life because I was shooting the proverbial T-ball wedding. I was shooting the T-ball wedding like it was a T-ball wedding. I was shooting in church basements where they had like streamers hanging from the basketball court, and I was shooting it like it was a streamer-filled basketball court wedding. The minute I changed my perspective and shot these weddings like I was shooting it for Grace Ormond or Martha Stewart weddings was when I started really moving towards what I wanted to do. And ideally, I'm not even exaggerating, not even making this up. The next wedding that I shot after going to Zach's workshop, I shot in this church, and my daddy's a pastor. I've said this before, and I shouldn't say things about God's house, but this church was just ugly. I mean, the church mice were scared to go into this church. And so I was just like, this is where we have to shoot this wedding. And I was so scared because the church lady comes up to me and she says, there's no flash photography. And I'm just like, you're silhouetted. It's so dark in here, I can't see you. How can I not use flash in this church? And she says, those are just the rules. So I have a minor panic attack, and then I just have to think, okay, this situation is gonna be really, really bad. So I tell JD to stand in the hallway where he has like awful lighting, but still lighting. And then I run up on the stage and I hide behind planters at the church. And I shot the entire wedding from behind because they were up on a stage and the entire ceremony was pitch black, but they had pin lighting on the bride and groom. And I couldn't shoot up on them because the stage was literally like 6 feet off the ground and then they were sitting on top of it. So it was like I was shooting a 12-foot person. I'm talking so fast I can't even breathe. Okay, so I'm hiding behind the planters and I'm shooting the bride and groom. And then we go across the street to their church gym where they have streamers and they have a Korean-style potluck. And I set up this computer and I do a same-day wedding slideshow edit. And as people are standing around the computer with their paper plates and their kimchi, I booked 5 weddings from that singular church shoot that I thought would be awful. What happened was the girls who were watching this felt that if Jasmine can make that church look like what we're seeing, imagine what she could do with our church. That revolutionized my business. So if you feel like you're shooting kind of ghetto fabulous weddings, take the ghetto out and just shoot them fabulously. And that's one thing that I walked away with from Zach's workshop. So